Hey everyone, this is Michael for Spirit Comics. Welcome to my review of X-Men Blue #2. I'm a poet and I didn't know it. This is a cool cover. I mean, it's got Magneto there, apparently firing upon the X-Men team, but he doesn't do that in the story. It's probably just to, attract buyers. And at least this time, Iceman kind of looks like he did in the past when he originally appeared in the X-Men several decades ago. I think he was drawn like a walking human form of snow. But then when Spider-Man and his amazing friends came out, by that time he had taken a new form and he looked a lot better. So while there's not an ounce of space wasted on this cover, I like it. Previously in X-Men Blue, under Jean Grey's leadership, the X-Men took down mutant criminals Black Tom Cassidy and the Juggernaut. While there was friction between members, the mission was successful and they returned to their new headquarters on the island nation of Madripoor. There they were greeted by their new benefactor, former archenemy Magneto. Written by Colin Bunn. Okay, I'll say this right now. Colin Bunn did a much better job with this story. This is the Wreck-It and Wrench-It salvage yard 2 months ago. You don't trust me. Marvel Girl, Jean Grey. You're kidding, right? Of course I don't trust you. You're Magneto. I'm aware. Magneto, master of magnetism. And it doesn't help that you wanted to meet here, surrounded by all this metal. It's the perfect place for you to unleash the fury of your power. Or to hide a body. Magneto says, you should understand my Jean says, you should understand my hesitation. You're the first mutant who ever tried to kill me, to kill my friends. That was a long time ago, he says. For you, I was pulled out of my own time with the rest of the original X-Men, pulled out just days after we fought you. For me, it was like yesterday. And in all that time that's passed for you, what have you done? How many times did you attack the X-Men? How many people have you hurt? How many times did you launch full-scale attacks against the world? The world! I don't care what you or anyone else says. You're not an X-Man. You're not our friend. Now, I have to admit, they did a nice job on Jean Grey in this issue, except they made the fatal mistake of turning her hair sort of reddish purple. She's a redhead. But the, casual outfit is kind of nice. So she's waiting for Magneto to respond, and he says, you're right, of course. I am? This is why I've come to you. It is? Mutants have been given yet another chance at survival, perhaps our last chance. It is an opportunity I do not want to see squandered. Charles Xavier dreamed of a world where human and mutant could coexist in peace. Once I challenged that idea, Now, though, I believe that if mutants are to survive, they must do so alongside humans. This is weird, she says, and I would have to agree. There are still dangerous threats to Xavier's dreams, threats that must be dealt with. I have come to realize that I cannot publicly stand against these dangers. I am seen as a monster and a terrorist, she says. And so I need allies who reflect the very best of mutant kind. I need you and the original X-Men. I don't... Here, he says, takes off his helmet. Perhaps you'd feel more comfortable if you see for yourself that I speak the truth. You're letting me read your mind? I appreciate the efficiency and necessity, he says. All right, she says, closes her eyes and peers into his mind. Okay. We'll try your way. At least I will. Thank you, he says. And I do like the way they've drawn Magneto here. He looks younger in this drawing, but it's a good drawing, and every bit of his face is defined. Forehead, nose, lips, cheekbones, and even the hair is drawn very well. Now they're back to the present day. This is convincing the others might be a problem. So there's Angel, Warren Worthington III. Keep blasting, Scott. I'm going to use telepathy to goose your powers. It's no use, Warren says. We can't get through his force field. He's shrugging off our most powerful attacks. Cyclops, Scott Summers, and of course, they're fighting Magneto. Will it hurt? Yeah, it'll tickle, she says. And then, shoo, she does something to really increase his power. And Warren says, nice one. I was going to ask you guys to stop flirting, but it's hard to argue with results. Jean says, glad you think so, Warren. You're next. Here goes nothing. And he goes, whoosh. And then we see, join me, X-Men. This world belongs to us. I've tried to deny it, but I see that now. And so they keep on fighting. What is this? A replay from the first time we met him? Or is Magneto just running out of material? Let's see what you think of this, boy. I can't stop it. Scott! Oh no! And then it lands right down on top of Scott. Are you alright? Yeah. Oh, okay. Danger room in program. See, that was all simulation. X-Men HQ, Island State of Madripoor. Whew, that sucked, Angel says. Daydream erase session log. Yeah, I'm not too proud of that one myself, Scott says. No need to record our performance. I'm not trying to protect our egos, she says. I asked Hank to hack into the room's systems and make sure we had some real privacy when we wanted it. If Magneto knew we were trained to fight him based on how we just did, Angel says, my guess is he'd rest easy. We might have done a little better if we were all here, Scott says. Where is Hank anyway? And for that matter, where is Bobby? They knew we had a session scheduled, didn't they? Jean says, this isn't acceptable. We have to keep practicing. We have to make sure we're ready. If we don't, we're finished. I'd expect this kind of thing from Bobby, but not from Hank. Angel says, hey, I'll go find Bobby, alright? I'll let him know he has to get his head in the game. And I'll talk to Hank, Cyclops says. So they both go off. Hank is in his room. I owe him a man-to-man conversation anyhow. And he's studying his mysticism. He said the code is unclear, jumbled. Anyway. Hey, Scott enters. Hey, Hank. You should knock, Scott. It's only polite. I did knock, he says. I guess you didn't hear me. He says, who were you talking to? I was speaking to myself. I do that sometimes when I'm trying to work through some crisis of faith or self-doubt, which is understandable. I've done that sometimes, but not because of a crisis of faith or self-doubt. I'd recommend something similar for you, but you never stop chattering to yourself. Haha. We missed you at practice, Scott says. I was busy, as you can see. Keep distracting me, and I'll still be busy during the next Danger Room session, and the next. Scott says, hey, I'm sorry about before. I shouldn't have jumped down your throat about all the magic stuff. Now here they've started to draw Hank sort of like he looks as he would in decades to come. Oh, I understand. Magic is frightening to those who don't understand it. Then again, so are I-beams and fire wings and walking, talking snowmen. So is throwing in with a genocidal madman who has tried to conquer the world on multiple occasions. I'm trying to apologize, man. He said, Hank. Magic scares me too. I don't get it. But I was out of line. I know that coming here to this time has been particularly tough on you. He says, it's alright. Apology accepted. Water under the bridge, so to speak. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a few things to finish up. I have the feeling that apology was not entirely accepted, but, perhaps it was. I do like the artwork in this, on these pages. It's done much better, more detail, more color and depth. Genocidal madman? Why did we let Jean talk us into this? He says one of us acted out of unrequited love. The other, yeah, I think that's my cue to leave. And then something down here, which I never really understood what this was, and I don't think it was addressed in later issues. Magic scares him, poor little flower, and he hasn't seen anything yet. Of course, Hank didn't use a lot of magic in the later issues. And now we find Bobby's room. He's calling someone. Hey, it's Bobby. You know Bobby, your boyfriend? Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, Bobby's no gay. This is like the sixth message I've left for you. You don't respond to voicemail. You don't respond to text. It's taking every ounce of willpower I can muster to avoid a Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo joke. Hopefully you're just busy saving the world or something. Yeah, me too. If it's this long distance thing, we both said we could handle it. And you've really got to see Madripoor sometime. Parts of the island are terrifying, sure, but some other parts are pretty amazing. And so Warren is listening to this, and he decides not to bother him. Okay, I guess I'll let you go. Call me back. So he doesn't get the talking to that he needs. Now here, I believe this is Jean Grey's quarters, which is looks pretty lavish. I think this is her quarters. Good evening, Miss Grey, Magneto says. I trust your training session went well? Magneto, I'm surprised you weren't observing. Wait, were you observing? He says this is not a school. You are not students, and I'm certainly not headmaster. Those are shoes I could never hope to fill. So yeah, training went well. 5 by 5. You know, 5 by 5 meaning I think that all members were there, and he looks at her, speechless, not really smiling or approving. And this robot named Ferris says, "Can I get you anything before you retire for the evening, Miss Grey? Chamomile tea, perhaps?" "No, thanks. I'm all right," she says. It's been a few days since we dealt with Black Tom. Have we had any luck tracking down the others? Shaw, the White Queen? It will take time, he says. Enemies such as these reveal themselves on their own schedule. And then it's flashback to the Wreck-It and Wrench-It salvage yard 2 months ago when she was allowed into his mind. See? Magneto's mind. When he let me into his mind back at the junkyard, I thought he might be watching me. He was watching me, wasn't he? He was making sure I didn't dig too far, didn't look in the wrong places. I used decoys in case he was following me, because you can see several of Jean Grey in there. He's telling the truth. I know he is. At least he thinks he is. But there's something more. I could feel it. Other thoughts pushed away, buried, hidden. Then we see this. She walks through this door. And then she sees this boy. And she starts crying. And that boy is Magneto. Because, see, the shadow looks like Magneto. It doesn't look like the boy. And she cries too, for him. He's lost so much. He wants peace so badly. I can feel it. But he's so angry. Attention, X-Men, a situation has arisen. Sentinels have been detected in Barcelona, Spain. You are needed. Sentinels? Thank God. Alright, team. I'm telepathically patching us together. To me, my X-Men. Nice. How'd that feel? Honestly, kind of creepy. I liked it, Jeannie. You sounded like a total badass. Yeah, from the one character who should be killed off unless his character is rewritten. I'll get the Blackbird prepped. Not that it needs my help. Most likely the plane's already primed and engined and the engine's in anticipation of our needs. I wouldn't be surprised if it one day leaves us behind and jets off to save mutant kind on its own. Or he said something like that. I'm just waiting on you guys, Angel says. The Blackbird. Approaching Mach 5, 10 minutes from Barcelona, Spain. You know, Gene, and here we go with Iceman not using code names again. If Magneto wanted to kill us, throwing us at Sentinels would be a good way to do it. And we'd be going on ops just like this, even if we had stayed with Professor Kitty. Magneto is trying to protect mutants. He doesn't want to kill us. Not yet, Jean says. And she looks really good in these two panels here. Those two images of her were drawn with a lot of detail, I think, because you can see the outline of her nose, and you can and what's standing out to me is you can see the crinkles in her hair instead of one big space of orange. That's comforting. Welcome to Barcelona, X-Men. Angel seems all excited. Hope we survive the experience. Da-da-da-da. Greetings, fellow mutants, Sentinels, mutant exterminating robots. And they're all surprised. Fellow mutants? Say what now? The X-Men have arrived in Spain. They have engaged the Sentinels, Ferris says. Monitor them, Ferris. I want constant updates. You are concerned for their well-being? They'll be fine. They know how to deal with Sentinels. It is simply this world. The more things change, the more they stay the same. Yes, sir. I understand. And what about our project? All is going according to plan, sir. Now look at that. It says, the time platform is almost ready. Soon you'll be able to send the young X-Men back to their period of origin. To be continued. And that was it for X-Men Blue number 2. I thought the writing was better in this one, aside from the cheesy dialogue from Iceman. And the art was better in this one, compared to the first issue. Now, what did you guys think of it? I thought the pacing was good. It didn't drag. Leave your comments below. Also, please do subscribe to my channel, Spirit Comics, if you have not done so already. Also, please smash that bell like She-Hulk so you'll be notified of all new uploads. And please do like this video and share it with someone else who might enjoy it as well. Till next time, true readers.